Hello, readers, and welcome back to Reading in the Middle, where stories, laughter, and big ideas all share the same shelf. I'm your host, Annisha Jeffries. Today, I'm thrilled to talk with Tom Angleberger, the author whose folded paper hero, In the Strange Case of Origami Yoda, changed how kids see school stories, whose multiverse adventure in the Two-Headed Chicken, Chaos and the Cosmic Library series takes absurdity to rocket speed, and whose newest book, Dino Poet, a graphic novel, introduces T-Rex with a poetic soul. He's partnering in life with creative quests with his wife, Cece Bell, the award-winning author-illustrator of Deafo, a graphic novel that has earned a Newbery Honor, an Eisner Award, and much more. So, sharpen your pencils, grab your favorite snack, and maybe fold a little Yoda, because today we're about to fold, flap, and roar. First of all, it's just an honor to have you here on the podcast. I love your work. Everything that you have written, I enjoy. Everything.
Oh, I don't think you've read everything now.
Almost everything.
That is so nice of you to say that. I mean, it really is nice of you to say, because I've tried a lot of different stuff and not everything is for everybody's taste. And some people like one series but don't like another. So it's really nice of you to say that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Since I work in the children's department, your books go out like that.
Good.
We don't even have to recommend them. I mean, we don't even have to recommend them. The kids come in and grab your books. So just know
awesome.
that they love them. And sometimes we can't.
Nice of you to say. Thank you.
Yeah, we can't keep them on the shelf. And I know for listeners that've heard this before, I just don't say this to authors. I'm right in this place, so I know. I work with with teachers and educators and families, and so I know what the books that are very popular. So you're one of them.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So Tom, let's start off like with I mentioned teachers, and they love using Origami Yoda in classrooms. Why does that story connect so strongly with kids and teachers?
Oh, well, I hope some teachers might not like it so much as there's a few kind of rebellious things in there, but I think I think it connects because it's true. So many of the stories are true. They're based on me and my friends, and some of them I don't come out looking very good. And I think kids understand that, and the stories work for them because they know they're like that, or they know kids like that, and it doesn't always. Let's see, how am I trying to put this? It's not always. Oh man, I think I've run aground. I apologize.
Oh no, but you often write about kids who don't fit the mold.
Okay, maybe that's where I was headed. Yes, they're not the kids you're going to read about in every book. These are definitely different types of kids.
And why do you think that kind of story is important?
Oh, well, to me, it was important to tell the story because it was really my story, and I really wanted to tell it. But hopefully kids that read it, they respond to it maybe the way that I responded to the Pinkwater books when I was a kid. I don't know if you've ever read Pinkwater, my favorite author of all time.
Pinkwater?
But yeah, Daniel Pinkwater. His characters are weird and strange, and I was weird and strange, and it was great to read about these kids. And of course, another character that I connected with deeply was Ramona. Ramona and me, we understood each other perfectly, and it was great. It was great to have one even if they were imaginary, one kid out there who understood what it was like to be me.
Yes. And when you visit schools, what's a question that surprises you the most?
Oh man, I get so many bizarre questions. Oh man, the questions. The funniest thing about the questions is that the kids don't care about the answers. They just wanted that. They wanted the moment to tell the questions. So they'll say something like, "Why do your glasses look so funny?" And then they sit back down. They don't actually. They don't care about my optometrist. They just wanted. They wanted to have their little moment. So I do. I have a great time with the kids. So many of them ask about, what is your favorite book? Everybody wants to know what is my favorite book that I've written. I think it's so the kids want to know which is my favorite book that I've written. Of course, I'm more interested to know if they've read any of my books. I'd love to know which one they liked and why they liked it. But they, for some reason, want to know why. Of course, I often turn that into a commercial and I tell them my
Good.
name of my latest book. But I think it's interesting. The kids always want to know what an author's favorite book is. And I guess in truth, it works even as an adult. You hear something like, "Oh, well, Steven Spielberg's favorite film of his own was such and such." I'm like, "Oh, maybe I'll watch that. He must have gotten things right." So that's a question that kids ask me all the time, and I never have a good answer for it. But it is an interesting question, and I don't know exactly why they want to know it, but that's what they want to know.
Well, that's good because you're right. Sometimes they just want to, uh, have their moment in the spotlight,
Right.
and that's good. Let's give them that. Right.
Right. Sure. Sure. I like to give them their moment by having them like come up and draw something with me, or
Oh,
we
yeah.
used to actually we used to act out the scene. You remember the scene from Origami Yoda where the kid gets the mysterious spot on his pants? That's not pee. Well, we used to act that scene out, and having a kid come up, and the kid would actually be Dwight with the Origami Yoda on their finger. That was the greatest. That was the greatest school visit material of all time.
Man, I know you're like a super rock star when you go to the school. So, you get all that those kids, and it's all about reading. It's all about reading a book. Isn't that wonderful? It's all about literacy. And today, people are like, "Oh, kids, they don't read yet." Well, they read what they love, what they want to read. They read what they love, and you're part of that. So that must be great.
Oh, you know what I do is I do this thing where I say, "Oh, that's enough about my books. I want to talk to you about your favorite books. I want to make a
Mm.
list of your favorite books so the next time I go to the library, I can take this list and check out great books." That's what I tell them. And then instead of writing down the titles, I draw a picture for each book they tell me. And we end up with like a crazy mashup of like Captain Underpants fighting Dog Man while Harry Potter zooms in, and a dragon from Wings of Fire, shoots them all on fire. We had to do all this stuff. But to see those kids like raising their hand, waving their hand wildly, they want to tell me their favorite book so bad. It's so bad. And when I finally read out a room on the paper, they're like so disappointed that they didn't get a chance to tell me their favorite book. The kids, their favorite book is like it matters to them. It's an important thing to them. And it's so much fun going around and talking to kids about it, or Zoom calls. I've talked to a million kids on Zoom about their favorite books, and uh, certain names come up over and over and over again. And then every once in a while, some kid will throw something at you from that you've never heard of before, or maybe that you didn't think anybody had heard of before.
Mhm.
The kids are just amazing. They soak stuff up. The kids are where I get all the energy from. All the
Yeah.
books. I had the energy to write like a couple of books myself, and then it is poured in from the kids, the excitement and the enthusiasm, and that's where the rest of the books have come.
That's amazing. And uh, just hearing about I forgot about Zoom calls because you can do that nowadays, and so that's really great and helpful too. So, let's talk about two-headed chicken. Two-headed
Oh,
chicken,
okay.
yeah, two-headed chicken. Of all of a sudden takes readers on a multiverse adventure. What do you hope these young people learn from all that chaos?
Well, I've had so much fun with two-headed chicken. For a long time, I realized that the dream I had when I was a kid, that I was never going to get to that. And my dream when I was a kid was to write comics. And I took lots of detours. I was a professional juggler. I was a reporter for a long time. And then, I magically got to write children's books. And that was fantastic. It's a fantastic thing, but it wasn't exactly the dream. The dream was to do comic books. And then I got some chances to do some comics, but they weren't exactly they were, for instance, the Geronimo Stilton books. I had so much fun making those. It was a dream come true to get to make comic books, but I wasn't writing them. I was adapting stories from Italian. Geronimo Stilton books come from Italy. Some of them hadn't been translated in English yet, so we were adapting ones that hadn't been translated yet. I had so much fun with those, but I still wanted to write my own comic book. Just me. I sound like an egomaniac, but I wanted a book that was all me. So these 3 two-headed chicken books, that's the dream finally coming true. I got to write my book the way I wanted it. Candlewick was fantastic. They just let me do what I wanted to do, and I had so much fun. I'm so grateful to Candlewick for publishing something so weird and off the wall. And I don't know if Candlewick's had a great time in the sales department with the book, but I have had a great time with the books. It really has been a dream come true.
They're wonderful. And I was thinking, like, how do you mix science, silliness, and creativity in your stories?
Well, I just that makes it sound like I know what I'm doing, and I really don't know what I'm doing. I just experiment and I try lots of different things, and some of them don't work and they ended up in a pile, and other ones would work a little bit, and then I would mess with them some more and tinker with them. So what happens with the two-headed chicken was it sort of started with this voiceover. Just imagine this voiceover where somebody says, in the infinite universes within the multiverse, anything can happen. In one universe, you have a sister. Your sister is a lot smarter than you. In fact, she's so smart that she invented a time cap that lets you, oh wait, I got my caps backwards. She invented an astro cap that lets you jump from one universe into the other. And then in the second book, now you have invented a time cap that lets you jump from one time period to another. But you always jump with your sister because you and your sister are 2 heads on a two-headed chicken. Why are you jumping from place to place? Because you're being chased through the multiverse by an angry green moose named Colonel Antlers who wants to fry you using his grandfather's secret recipe. So, there's no grand scheme there. It was just, I don't know, it was absolute silliness. And I just strung together 3 books worth of silliness like that. And it was a lot of fun.
But it does sound like a lot of fun. And it's amazing, too, because, I mean, the more silly that it is, the more fun it is. I mean, that's part of it. And just the imagination and everything you put into Two-Headed Chicken. I don't know, Candlewick. I'm telling you, those books are fantastic, and I think that they know that, or they wouldn't have given it like the thumbs up.
I mean, I think you're in an interesting position to see as a librarian. You can see whether that works or not. The awards go to serious books, but the silly books hopefully are reaching the kids without an award on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other silly books that are popular that kids love that probably aren't going to get an award because they're too silly? What are some of the other books that you see kids loving?
Dog Man.
Oh,
Those are
yeah.
going out. Just with the same author, Captain Underpants. Anything. And I will say a lot of graphic novels. We get a lot of reluctant readers, and they seem to go towards the graphic novels, which is great. I mean, I don't have anything. I'm not against that, but those are real popular books, especially like The Babysitter's Club. That book that's been out for a long time, but now it's a graphic novel. And so with that, graphic novels are such a hit, though they've become favorites of our young patrons.
Oh yeah, the the ones you mentioned are just absolute gold. Dave Pilkey, the
Diary of a Wimpy Kid too. I forgot.
oh right, well of course, Diary of a Wimpy Kid is what paved the way for Origami Yoda, and then Dog Man paved the way for Two-Headed Chicken. Those are just amazing things. And then I don't know if all of your readers have checked out the graphic novel versions of Babysitter's Club. But
Yes.
you may think oh, I read the book, I don't need to look at the graphic novel. You really need to look at the graphic novel because the artists that they've gotten to do those books are absolutely amazing. I am so jealous of the talents of those people. I wish if I could draw like that, I would be drawing like that. I don't know how they keep finding such amazing people, but there's been 3 or 4 different artists on that series now, and I am such huge fans. They're just incredible.
Yes, me too. And I know they're fans of you as well. Maybe sometimes something you guys could collaborate. That sounds.
Oh my gosh. I would love to collaborate with Gail Galligan so much. Oh my gosh, the talent there is just unbelievable.
So I want to talk about Dino Poet.
Oh yeah, Dino Poet. That's my other graphic novel series that's come out. And
yes. Oh, go on.
Oh yeah, I just having so much fun. Two-Headed Chicken was a throwback to when I was in the 4th grade and I was loving Star Wars joke books and stuff. They weren't real Star Wars. They were like Star Truck instead of Star Trek. Star Trek. I mean, that kind of thing. But anyway, so with Dino Poet, I went even further back to the 1st grade, pre-Star Wars, because I'm really old. This was before Star Wars came out, and I was all about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. And so I went back to that, and Dino Poet is inspired by a piece of writing I did when I was in the 1st grade. I think it was a class assignment. And my mother kept this piece of paper, and I haven't seen it in a while. I hope it still exists somewhere. But it was a letter to Santa from a dinosaur. And I think that was the class assignment. And I wrote, "Dear Santa, I want meat." That was my class assignment. That was something I did in the 1st grade. And I found that of course I forgot all about it, but my mother kept it. I found it years and years later. And that's really what inspired Dino Poet. Instead of letters to Santa, the dinosaur is now writing poetry. But the poems are still about how much the dinosaur wants to eat some meat.
They're not true.
That is very true. It's the number one thing on a dinosaur's mind. So they're not poems about dinosaurs. They are poems by dinosaurs. It's a big difference.
Especially T-Rex, right? The T-Rex writes poetry.
Right. T-Rex is, stomps around, growling and snarling, trying to eat people. But he's got a heart. He's got a very soft heart. So when he reads the poetry, he just sits down and starts crying. He can't chase anybody. He can't eat anybody. All he can do is shed a single tear.
Yes. And you tell kids to write it, read it, and roar it. How can educators use that to inspire poetry writing?
Oh man, I hope educators are using this book to help kids write poems because it totally demystifies the poems. It takes away any barriers to writing a poem. Anybody can write a poem the way the dinosaur writes a poem. And you should roar it. You should just feel it and write it and then just let it out. Let the world hear it. And that sort of goes back to the I don't actually know real poetry very well, but isn't there one of the poets has a barbaric yawp that is it Allen Ginsberg? No, it's Walt Whitman has a barbaric yawp, right? And then Allen
Ginsberg is howl, right?
Howl. Yeah, he has a howl. So there was a yawp, there was the howl, and now I've got roar.
That's awesome because I like roaring. Roar. Especially if I don't get my coffee. Now, Tom, McToad Moe's Tiny Island is coming soon.
Oh, you know about that, the board book.
Oh, yes, it's for tiny readers. So what's it like writing for young readers?
Oh man, that book, that book was so much fun to write. If readers haven't seen it, let me tell you, basically, I wrote a list. And then the amazing, amazing illustrator, John Hendricks, made that list absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful and amazing. And I'm so glad that the book is coming back as a board book, so even smaller kids can enjoy it, because the book is a lot about sound effects, and it's a great read aloud. I think it's going to work great as a board book. But that book, so I live next to a river, and there's a very tiny island in the river, and it was so overgrown you couldn't really. I mean, we're talking very small, like a foot by 2 feet or something, very small. It had gotten so overgrown you couldn't really do anything. You couldn't even. So I got a lawnmower and I mowed it. Right? And it only took 1 second to mow. The hard part was getting the lawnmower to the island. But once I was there, it was like, and it was done.
Now, was it one of the older lawnmowers, or was it
It was
one?
it was gas powered, and it was very
Okay.
heavy. It was very hard to get it to the island, but I got it there, and bloop, and I was done. And it was just so silly, but it worked. But it was so silly. And I thought, you know what, kids would like a story this silly. It was just so phosphorus. So I made it even more difficult. Oh, by the way, I made it a toad that mows the island instead of a person. And his name is Mick Toad. And it was a little bit of trouble for me to get the lawnmower to the island. It's a lot of trouble for McToad to get the lawnmower to the island. He spends the whole book trying to get the lawnmower to the island. And then when he finally gets there, whoop, you know. So I just thought little kids would enjoy a story that was that silly and filled with sound effects. And then when John Hendricks made it so beautiful and put so much care into the machines and the vehicles and all that stuff, I actually think I hate to toot our own horn, but I think it is just about a perfect little picture book.
Yes, and it comes out next year, and that's exciting. And I just wanted to mention it because, hey, people or listeners, excuse me, that listen like later on, maybe next year, they'll know and say, "Oh, I want McToad. I want to read McToad Moe's Tiny Island." So I just wanted to give you that shout out of for your new book coming out.
Well, I appreciate that. And once again, when I say it's a perfect picture book, what I did was write a list of things. John Hendricks, I think, is one of the greatest illustrators today, and he made it amazing for people that are looking for a book for older kids or even high school students. He recently made a graphic novel called Myth Makers. Are you familiar with it? It's
No.
it's the story of the friendship between Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. So the guy that wrote Lord of the Rings and the guy that wrote Narnia were kind of buddies. And Hendricks researched this and made this beautiful, beautiful graphic novel out of it. So that is a huge recommendation from me for you guys. If you have any interest in those two people or how books get made or anything like that. And the fact that instead of turning all that work into like a scholarly history book, but instead turned it into a graphic novel with beautiful illustrations,
Yes.
he's one of the absolute superstars in kid literature.
I will look that up. I definitely am interested in that. That's amazing. I'm surprised I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten maybe as much publicity as I would like it to get. So here we go. This is our chance to shout it out.
Yes, shout it out. It's Myth Makers by John Hendricks.
Yes.
So Tom, you and your wife, Cece Bell, often collaborate. What is your creative process like working together?
Well, it can be rocky. It can be tough collaborating on a book. I guess our first book together was Cranky Doodle, and we actually wrote that together on a car trip, bouncing stuff back and forth while we were driving on a long car trip. And then we came back and we agreed that I would actually do the final writing Cece would do the illustrations. So it took me like a day, a morning to write up all of our notes and write the text. And then Cece worked for like 6 months on these gorgeous paintings for the book. So she put so much more work into that than I did. And it shows. The illustrations in that book are hysterical. They're just hilarious.
What do you think kids can learn from seeing two artists collaborate on stories?
Well, I think it's a great idea for kids to collaborate with each other on stories.
Absolutely.
And I mean, there's a million cases, and the new book by Raina Telgemeier and Scott
Hmm.
McCloud is about this, the Cartoonist Club. We're like, well, one kid's got the ideas, and another kid's got the wants to draw something, but doesn't have an idea at the moment. So why should they just sit there doing nothing when they can put that together and there's like a creativity explosion? And that's happened for me over and over and over again in my career. In fact, my pathway to publication, I never would have gotten published if it hadn't been for collaborating. It was because of a collaboration that we were able to get an agent, and that led to get me getting published. And then since then, I've gotten to collaborate with so many other people, and so many of the illustrators that I've worked with. Um, we actually made the book together. As the story is by both of us, the words were by me and the pictures were by them. But the story could only have happened with the two of us putting our brains and ideas together.
Having two brains together
That's
is
how the two
amazing.
intricate works. Yeah, that's how the two intricate
Exactly.
brains together.
And your books also celebrate imperfection. And why is that so important for kids to see mistakes as part of creativity?
Oh, celebrating imperfection. That's going to be the title of my memoir. That's perfect. I am I am such an imperfect person. I am such a mess. I am so imperfect, and my drawings are imperfect, and my writing is imperfect. Luckily, I have editors. The editors can often help the writing get polished up, but the drawings are hopeless. The drawings are always going to be completely wonky and off and weird. And sometimes I wish I could draw perfectly. I wish I could draw like Raina, but since I can't, I've sort of had to figure out what works for me, and definitely celebrating the imperfect is what I'm all about. A lot of that goes back to Ed Emberley. I'm sure you
Yes.
know Ed Emberley's books. He wasn't trying to draw the perfect fire truck. He was trying to make a fire truck that you could draw. And you know, and so, Ed Emberley was just huge for both me and CC, actually. Um, and so much stuff like even celebrating imperfection, like the Muppets. The Muppets are all
Yes.
about, Kermit has this vision and it never goes the way Kermit wanted to, but yet it all turns out great and everybody goes yay at the end. I I hope I'm getting that across with my books. It's the same idea, just without without Kermit.
Right. And when I was young, I wanted to be a cartoonist. And I thought everything had to be perfect. The lines had to be perfect. And I'm not saying this is not, his work isn't perfect, but The Far Side, when I was in
Oh,
high school, I loved The Far Side. And I thought, oh, okay, that's doable.
yes. Oh my gosh, The Far Side. That's a perfect example. Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm not sure do kids still find The Far Side? Does it just seem too old?
I
Oh my
know.
god.
I don't think so. But when I was in high school, I ate that up. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed. I bought all of the anthologies. It would just spend the day just reading and laughing, loving
Oh my gosh.
Gary
Yeah.
Larson.
Oh my wow. Far Side is absolutely fantastic. If any of your readers don't know what we're talking about, you need to run to the library, grab The
Run.
Far Side, Mythmakers, a couple
Yes.
of graphic novels.
And yeah, and you could spend hours just enjoying them. So, listeners, please, this is our recommendations to you. Now, Tom, I have one question.
Okay.
What's one story idea or genre you'd love to try next?
Oh, boy, that is interesting because I've tried just about everything. I've done a science fiction novel with a science fiction author. I've done some mysteries, romance. A lot of people don't know this, but my original title, it was not The Strange Case of Origami Yoda. It was called Origami Yoda, A Love Story. And it's not a joke. My agent said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And I didn't. My agent was right. And my agent is almost always right. But anyway, I mean, that was because it really is a lot of little romances in there. So I've done science fiction, romance. I'm not sure what's left. Nonfiction. Of course, I was a reporter for 15 years, so I wrote a lot of nonfiction that way. But I've often wanted to write a nonfiction book for kids. Some of my favorite kids' books are nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is something I've thought about a lot. But the people that are already writing nonfiction, like Steve Sheinkin, he is so good. Oh, I look at that. I'm like, wow, I could never write a nonfiction book that good. So
Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
maybe. Well, thanks for the maybe that's what I needed to get going. So yeah, I would love to write a nonfiction book. I have not really figured out how I can write one to compete with the amazing stuff that's out there already. Did you read the Mona Lisa Vanishes? The pretty recent book about the theft of the Mona Lisa, which is actually extra relevant now that there's been a new theft from the Louvre. But the Mona Lisa Vanishes is so good. It's nonfiction. It's so good. I immediately wrote a fan letter to the author. It was that good.
Oh, that's another book. You hear that, listeners?
Yeah, put that down on your list. Mona Lisa Vanishes.
Mona Lisa Vanishes.
So, and I also thought, oh, I'm not going to learn anything. I know all about this stuff. I was an art history major. I know it all. I knew nothing. I learned so much from that book. Oh my gosh, amazing book.
Isn't that wonderful when you learn things, when you think, I know it all. I like you said, hey, what are you going to tell me? And then you read it and it's like, whoa. And it's like another, you learn so much. And that's the part that what I try to tell young people is that you're always learning every day. Just because you're out of school doesn't mean you stop learning. You're always going to learn. And that's true.
That is a great message. That is a great message. I can't even top that. That's just perfect.
Uh-oh. Are you ready, Tom?
Oh.
This is our lightning round.
Oh, it is.
Yes, this is where I ask you questions. Yes, I ask you questions, and whatever comes to the top of your head, you answer. So,
okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Favorite snack while writing?
Cheetos.
Book you loved as a kid?
Lizard Music by Daniel Pinkwater.
Character most likely to win a dance-off?
Character boy, that's from left field. Wow. I think Cat Kid would win a dance off.
Fold or draw? What comes first?
Oh, draw.
What's your imaginary dinosaur's pen name?
These are great questions. My imaginary dinosaurs. Emily Dinokerson.
If you could create one new rule for school, what would it be?
You can wear a hat.
Nice. And that concludes our lightning round. Good job. Tom, I want to thank you so much for joining me on Reading in the Middle. Your books remind me and our listeners creativity can be silly and serious. And sometimes the bravest thing a writer can do is try something weird. So I just want to thank you for that. And thank you for sharing everything. And also, McToad Moe's Tiny Island comes out in 2026. And also, readers, listeners, Dino Pet, you can get that wherever you get your books, especially the library and your independent bookstore. And watch for Pen Pals. So I just want to, again, thank you so much for keeping all of our readers curious and writing. It's so important.
Oh, wow. I want to thank you so much because, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. But also, I could tell you're a great librarian and
Oh,
your enthusiasm for books. And you told me if I don't know if those were secrets you told me before we came on the air, but
it's not
she
secret.
dropped a few secrets about juggling, dressing up like Clifford. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously a fantastic librarian, and it's a team. It's teamwork. It's the two brains together. I write them, and
Yes.
you get kids to read them, and it means the world to me that there's a great librarian like you out there that actually likes my books and shares them with kids.
Not only likes them, loves them.
Oh,
Yes, we have wonderful displays of your books too. So I'll have to send you some photos of that, beautiful
wow.
displays, because we have to get the books just don't stay on the shelf, and you have to go through them. We make displays, so it's like, hey, these are the great books you can read, and and we get excited too when the books are that we displayed are checked out or not
Yeah.
or not on the display. It's so exciting. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. I got to come up and see your library sometime.
Please, downtown at the main library in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, fantastic.
Tom, thank you for joining me on Reading in the Middle. Your books remind us that storytelling can be silly, smart, and remarkable all at once. To our listeners, if you haven't yet picked up Two-Headed Chicken: Chaos in the Cosmic Library, now's the perfect time. And don't miss Dino Poet, or your chance to explore his upcoming titles with Cece Bell. Keep reading curiously, keep creating boldly, and never stop letting your imagination roar. Until next time, I'm Annisha Jeffries reminding you the middle of a book is often where the magic begins.